Today, guys, I wanted to go over a little guide for the new business that just came out. And I hope it helps you guys out because I spent a lot of time messing around with this business today, and there's definitely some things you do not want to do, or else you're just going to lose money. So I hope you guys go on to enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's jump straight into things. So the very first thing, obviously, the tow truck. So this is pretty much what you guys want to do. Right when you get on, you want to hop in your tow truck, and you want to go and source 2 vehicles. Doesn't matter what they are or where they are, that's the very first thing you want to do. And once you've sourced those 2 vehicles, obviously they're going to appear right here, and your team will start salvaging them for parts. From there, you want to walk over to this computer, make sure you register as a boss, and then start using it. Now, I've already completed all of the missions I'm able to do today. I'm not exactly sure how often these update, but it looks like every day all we get is 3. I kind of hope that changes in the future, just because it seems like a fairly profitable business, and it's just not the most fun thing in the world, the fact that you can only do 3 things and then you're kind of done with it. So hopefully that changes soon. Obviously, if any money has accumulated in your safe, you want to go and collect that stuff. We got about 79 grand in it, which isn't bad. But anyways, once those vehicles are sourced, you want to go start up one of those missions, obviously. Just complete everything, just do the mandatory work. You don't have to do any of the extra stuff because it's really not worth it at all. But then once you have the vehicle sitting right here, and it says salvage or sell, never ever click salvage. The reason why is because for some reason they made it take a whole lot longer to salvage one of the cars you get from that computer compared to one of the ones that you pick up with this tow truck. So I decided to sell 2 cars. I got my money instantly, didn't damage anything on the car. Perfect condition. But then when I did the one for the Gauntlet Hellfire, it was sitting here for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's also not including the 40 minutes I spent doing the prep work and the finale to actually get that vehicle. So in total, I didn't actually get paid from that until about 3 hours after, compared to the other ones where it took me 40 minutes and then I got paid. And I honestly just did that just to see if we could possibly get a little bit more money if we were to salvage the vehicle off, instead of just selling it to Yusuf. The fact is, though, you don't get any more money. So that's definitely a huge mistake, because it takes up one of the spots where another car could be scrapped for parts. And each of the cars tend to make you between 30k and 39k. At least that's what I've gotten so far. It doesn't really matter which car it is. It just always ends up paying out somewhere between that amount. And they usually take roughly about 45 minutes in order to scrap those cars for parts. But for some reason, when you use the computer, it just takes a whole lot more time. And before we continue, take a look at this video's sponsor. If you need any assistance in any of your favorite games like GTA 5, Fortnite, Forza, Call of Duty, and many, many more, be sure to check out Damnmodz down below in the description, and at checkout use code Frolickz to get up to $100 off your order. When it actually comes to making money from it, though, obviously you do want to try your best to complete all of the challenges. Now, they're not super hard. The very first one I did, I completed all the challenges, did everything flawlessly. I got a $50,000 bonus. I got money in my safe, delivered the vehicle flawlessly, did it all in a friends-only session, and ended up making just over $500,000, and it took me just under 1 hour. And of course, I did have 2 vehicles being scrapped for parts within the shop itself. I'm not really sure why Rockstar added the feature for us to be able to salvage those vehicles instead of just only sell them off. Like, if you're going to add the feature for us to salvage them, at least give us more money, especially if it's going to take like triple or quadruple the time it would have taken for any of the other vehicles to be salvaged. They just give us less money for it. So there's really no purpose in doing it except for doing some of the challenges that you can get. Like, I know it says salvage off $10 million worth of cars or sell off $10 million worth of cars, either or. If you want to complete those challenges, obviously you're going to want to salvage the vehicles, but it's just going to make you less money in the long run, and it'll take a whole lot longer too. Now, maybe it was just bugged out for me in terms of the time it took, but it took freaking forever. While I was waiting for that one Gauntlet Hellfire to be salvaged, I did the BF Weevil mission, completed it. I also got 3 other vehicles scrapped for parts in the time being while the Gauntlet Hellfire was being scrapped for parts. And I also took a break for about an hour and a half. So if any of you guys can explain to me why it'd be more worth it to scrap one of those vehicles for parts compared to just selling it off right away, let me know. Because the only downside to selling the vehicle off right away is the fact that, you get your money right away, and there's also a risk of you losing a tiny bit of money if you're a bad driver. Because Rockstar made it so people can't mess around with you in the finale of the mission. So your pretty much only worry is you crashing. That's literally the only issue. And another thing, there's no NPCs coming after you and shooting your car, so it kind of makes it a little bit better than vehicle sourcing as well. Plus, I mean, the profits are pretty damn good from it. Like, everything just happens instantly, and there really isn't anything to complain about there. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they would allow us to salvage vehicles for parts instead of just sell them. When it comes to the guide for this business, it's honestly very simple. Like I said, whenever you get a chance, just grab your tow truck and go drop some vehicles off to be salvaged. And then once you complete the missions, maybe grab some vehicles casually, because they usually don't spawn too far away. Then you could just go and do other stuff in the city. I really hope they do end up changing that though, because it's kind of annoying how we can only get 3 vehicles, and then once you've done the 3 vehicles, you're pretty much done with it. Also, considering this business cost $5.6 million for me to buy, you're only able to make just over maybe $1.5 million in a day. Like, the money you actually make from the business is good. It's just, you pretty much hop on. Maybe it'll take you about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to be done with everything, and that's all the money you'll be able to make for the day from it. Like, I started right when the update came out at 5 a.m. and finished by around 12, because obviously I was editing videos and doing other stuff during that time. But now, all I could really do is just go around and tow cars and make little bits of money here and there. And in terms of where you should buy this place, I mean, the cheapest one is obviously all the way up in Paleto Bay. I just wouldn't recommend buying that one because there was one mission I had to do where I had to drive back to the salvage shop. I drove there, and then it teleported me to House Special Works in the middle of the city, and then I had to drive back to the salvage yard. But yeah, imagine your business is all the way up in Paleto Bay. You get all the way up there, and then it just teleports you all the way back to the city, and then you gotta drive all the way back up there. It would just be a bit annoying. So I'd say any of the ones in the city would be great. I'd say the location that I have is probably the best location, just because during the missions, you have to get like helicopters and stuff, and you always drop them off at the helipad. I'm not sure if that's different for other business locations, but I mean, this seems like a pretty prime location. But when it comes down to it at the end of the day, it's a great business. I just feel like Rockstar could have made certain aspects of it a whole lot better. Profits are good. It's just kind of like you do it once and then you're done with it for the day type of thing. And I also wish we could salvage more vehicles at once. Like, I mean, these two combined are probably going to make me about $65,000 to $75,000, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, but it would be nice if, you know, I could toss some of them in these slots or something. But yeah, it would just be better if we were able to do it more frequently, especially since we spent so much money on it. I'm kind of just waiting for these to update now, and once they do, we're going to do some of those missions. Anyways, let me know down below in the comments section, what do you guys think of the business, and obviously the tips that I gave you about it. I mean, it's pretty obvious and self-explanatory. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10, because the concept is cool. It's just a lot of the stuff about it could be improved a lot. Like, let me drive the truck around without having to do a mission. If you're gonna make me salvage one of the cars I get from that computer, if it's gonna take that long, I expect to make a whole lot more money by scrapping parts instead of selling it to Yusuf, because it just seems like a waste of time. But anyways, that is gonna wrap the video up for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below what are your thoughts, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.